Alright, hi. Welcome to Intro to Philosophy. Today what we're going to do is go through the syllabus, which I've printed from Moodle. You've received this video link to YouTube via a general email that I sent out to the entire class. From now on, what you're going to have to do is log into Moodle, at which point you can find there a series of class updates, other teaching videos, that sort of thing. All of your assignments are going to be submitted by Moodle, so for this class, Moodle is going to be your hotspot. This is an online version of Philosophy 101, Introduction to Philosophy. My name is Grant Yoakum. I'll be your instructor for this course, and hopefully this will work out nicely. My email address, my on-campus office, and my office telephone are all on the first few lines of the syllabus. It's yoakum@oakland.edu. My office is basically a storage closet in 349 O'Dowd Hall, and my office telephone is extension 3301, or if you're calling from off campus, which I assume you would be, just with the nature of the course, it's 248-370-3301. My on-campus office hours, if you're there and you'd like to talk to me, or if you're trying to get a hold of me via telephone, are Monday and Wednesday from 1 till 2 p.m. I'd be very happy to meet with you virtually or in person by appointment as well. But the reason I'm teaching this course online is because I'm Canadian and I commute to Oakland University to teach this course. So in an effort to keep the amount of commutes down, what they've done is they've given me this online section so I can do it from my lovely office at home. All right. The course catalog description, I'm going to leave it to you to read through, but this satisfies your general education requirement, meaning it's going to be a writing intensive course and it's going to take a historical approach to philosophy, and you'll see it will. Once we get into the material, I'm going to start us off right from the beginning point of the history of Western philosophy with the pre-Socratic philosopher Thales, who I won't say that much about. I'm just going to be giving you a little bit of background material to get us into the first reading, which is going to be from Plato's 5 Dialogues, though it's Socrates. Now, you're probably freaking out because there are 6 books required for this course. Well, I'm going to see if I can't calm you down about that right now. Of the 6 books, we have Plato's 5 Dialogues, Plato's Phaedrus, Aristotle's Nicomachean Ethics, Thomas Hobbes' Leviathan, Kierkegaard's The Essential Kierkegaard, and Nietzsche's The Portable Nietzsche. Now, these are all fairly biggish books, but I'm going to say we're not going all the way through even one of them. What I'm doing is I've selected these books largely because they are fairly cheap, and I can then grab selections from them. There's an added bonus here as well because, well, I suppose I could just buy us, require you to buy an anthology, but what you get are just snippets with Joe Schmo about Plato, Socrates, Aristotle, Hobbes, etc., etc., etc. All right? And those anthologies can cost up to the $150 range. I do it this way because it gets us through the material fairly cheaply, and we are actually reading the primary texts rather than snippets of texts with analysis. That should just serve to keep the material from being muddied, and I can help you through with the comprehension element. Now, a few notes about who I am. I've been teaching for Oakland University. This now starts my 6th year with them, and for longer than that I've been teaching with colleges and universities around the Canadian side and in the Michigan area. I studied my undergraduate at the University of Windsor, where I got 2 degrees, and my graduate work was done at Brock University. with a focus on Eastern philosophy and Western philosophy comparatively. So that's a bit about who I am and why I'm on this side of the video rather than on the other side. Now, what you're going to be required to do for this course basically boils down to 4 things. There are 3 exams, 2 midterms, and a final. And how I do these is I divide the course into 3 sections. The first section will cover Socrates and Plato, the second Aristotle and Hobbes, and the third Kierkegaard and then Nietzsche. Right? These are complementary sections, and what I'm basically going to do is issue 3 questions, probably 2 on each philosopher and then 2 comparative. And you'll have at least 5 days to acquaint yourself with the questions and acquit yourself to answering those questions. Those assignments will also be posted to Moodle, and I'll be available for consultation about that. Now, the other part of assessment here is going to have to do with the course discussion board. The discussion board will be active as soon as we get into the material. Each figure that we discuss is going to be accompanied by some sort of a general question, which I'm going to ask you via the discussion board. At which point you can ruminate, reflect, and debate with regard to the question or the content of the question that I ask. Now, you're expected to engage with each of these philosophers on the discussion board, and this will be the participation quotient. I'll just read what I have here. Each figure we study will be accompanied with a discussion topic on Moodle. You're expected to enter into debates, offer criticisms, and generally discuss the nuances of the theoretical positions of each of the figures via this Moodle forum. At the end of the semester, a grade out of 10 points will be assessed based on the frequency, relevance, and quality of your participation. Now, for example, posts like "I agree" or "This is stupid" without additional comments will be insufficient to garner a good grade. Now, this semester I've added a discussion board policy. You've probably noticed a big section of my syllabus on Moodle is devoted to course policies. Each and every one of these, I don't mean to like point a finger at you or anything along those lines, but each of these policies is here because in the past I've had some sort of a problem. So the discussion board should be only used for discussion of the course material and should not be treated like a course blog, right? Did anybody get their exam grades back? Or has anybody heard from the professor? I sent an email last week and I haven't heard back, etc., etc. These are not questions for the discussion board. Any questions about the course itself should be directed towards me. And like I say, I'm on campus. You can reach me by telephone, and I'm going to do my best to keep up with the high volume of email that I get in a course like this. That said, well, a couple of notes about email. First off, Oakland University has mandated that I can only reply to an Oakland University email. So you all have an email account with Oakland, and if you're trying to get a hold of me, it's part of my job. That's what they tell me to do. I'm just doing what I'm told. I can only reply to an OU email account. Also, I do have a lot of students this semester, and in terms of emails, the volume gets pretty high, especially when I'm teaching these online courses. So occasionally I come to a point where I've got 7 or 8 people asking the same question, at which point I issue a general email to everybody in the course or anybody in all of my courses to respond to those questions. So I don't want it to be like you to think that I might be ignoring you. That's not the case. I'm just trying to manage a high volume of email correspondence. On top of that, I want to warn you that sometimes I email somebody directly across the hall from me and it takes like 12 hours to get there. We like to think of email as though it's instant, but it's not. So this ends part one of your welcome lecture, and I'll continue with part two in a minute.